Yep. Okay, so yeah, thanks everyone for coming back, and it's great to be back upstairs in our goalie den, our special room here. Awesome presentation from Steve, obviously. That was great to hear about his journey. I also really enjoyed Nick's presentation at the beginning of the day, and I took some notes, and I tried to make some connection between what he was sharing about integrity and what we're going to be talking about here next, which is video analysis and advanced statistics. And I don't usually write down notes. I usually just speak off the cuff, but I thought this was really important. So I think for myself, reflecting on Nick's presentation and all of the great learning and sharing that's taking place, that, learning about analytics requires, more accessibility, I think, so that it can not only be learned and shared, right, but it also becomes more relatable and integrated into the language we speak as goaltenders and how we communicate with head coaches. So, it's not like, for a lot of us, it's not a second language, right? It's not our main language. There are some barriers to understanding, advanced statistics. And what I think is so great about LeanHack is that you make it more accessible and you make it more relatable to coaches that may not have that depth of knowledge. And when I had the experience being a part of the LeanHack a few years ago, that's the experience that I had, and it made it more accessible and it made it easier to understand so that I could integrate it into my learning and my understanding and my worldview of what statistics mean and what advanced, video analysis provides. So there's so much tremendous value in that. And I think this is a great opportunity to, again, expand our knowledge, but also make it more relatable with the coaches that we work with and the goaltenders that we work with. So I just wanted to make some few comments on that.
Yeah.
So I just build on that and what Steve was saying yesterday, how important it has been for him, and I guess for most of you too, to be involved in more than just what happens in the paint, where the goalie is, to know more about the game, to be more involved with the coaches. And I think that's the key part to take away from what Mickey's going to talk about, but it's, of course, from a goalie coach standpoint, because you are a goalie coach first,
Yeah.
and then you came more and more into video and analytics, and from there you learn more about the game, and you can see more of the game to coach and to teach the goalies, right?
Yeah.
So, but with that, we're about 15 minutes behind schedule now. I won't say anymore.
We get going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, what Justin was mentioning, first, if you wonder why I'm sitting, but I have a really sore knee and it's swollen, so I have to take it easy. Talking about LeanHack, our conference that we have in Linköping, it's fantastic. We have so much people from all over the world, both live on set there, but also on the web. It's our 4th year right now, and I say 50-60% of the conference is, I don't understand that much of it because it's the academic part of it. So that's one side, and then you have the other side that's more hockey. So it is a mixture. But the whole thing for 3 days is all about hockey and analytics, and that's really interesting. And you meet a lot of interesting people, but also you get a sense of the future and what's possible. I think, and for what I will show you now is how we work. I've been working in SHL for 10 years, same club in Linköping. This was my last season. Now I'm leaving the ice. My body says so. So I leave the ice, but I will go all in on analytics instead. So that's what I'm going to do in the future. So we have a new goalie coach here, signing up for next season. So going back just a couple of years back, if you do the slide, we saw Excel sheets out there on the last talk. And of course, this is something that we've been doing for years. You actually have David Rautio sitting down there. He's on one of those charts. trying to figure out statistics, trying to have video, look at the clips, cut it down, making Excel sheets, see, okay, how many of the shots was the puck moving over the center, over this, like a seam pass, and so on. Trying to get statistics over the season. And this is just like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago that we really needed to do this. If you jump to the next picture. We also, during the years, have had different softwares to do video. And video can be like Dartfish that he was showing inside there. We have Huddle Sports Code that we're using. Someone else have Interplay or whatever. So there's different platforms. And that's for our tagging. This is me doing the tagging on the game, all games, just doing the basic things that we agreed on in the team to look at. And at the same time, we get lots of different camera angles, both from the production of the game, but also on IP cameras that we have in all arenas, so we can connect. So I can get a lot of different, like you see, different angles and stuff. And this is going wireless down to the bench, and they have iPads, and they can check it immediately. So that's the workflow during a game. So if you can go tillbaka, please. At the same time, as I'm doing this, and you see that there's some 4-on-4, 3-against-3, blah, blah, different things. At the same time, I have a platform in SportLogic where I can create really fast, finding out things that's important. Maybe I want to see zone exits or something that's happening that's interesting. I can just create a playlist really fast. I can download it in Huddle. What's it called? Huddle?
Sports Code?
Yeah, but the tagging will go straight into my tagging panel that you see now on my computer. So now it's a mixture of the things that comes from SportLogic and what I'm doing. And that end up on the bench, or they end up in the coach's room between periods and so on. So that's quite, that's a good way to do it, because then I don't have to do, like a couple of years ago, I did every player, both teams, everything they were doing. Now I'm not doing that, because I will get it for free, and you will see. Okay, do the next step. We all have, then definitely in SHL, but I think Hockey Allsvenskan, most junior teams, most clubs in Sweden have this system with Spideo, which means that depending on how many cameras you have, it have to do with how much money you will spend on it, but you will have it in all arenas. So I can, or like Hampus, so sitting there, take care of he's the goalie coach for the juniors in Linköping. So he's doing the tagging for the junior 18 and junior 20. But he's doing that in Spideo, which means that he can sit back home, they down in some other parts of Sweden playing, he's tagging, and when they come in the locker room, they will actually have that period tagged already from him, from back home. So that's also amazing. And we have this also, of course, for all practices, and we have 3 rinks there, so we have it in all 3 rinks. So we can use a lot of video. So we have lots of tools. So that's one thing. And then we have the different platforms that we're connected to. And of course, this is about financing things, because it's expensive. You can't have everything. I love to have all the platforms, but maybe that will be too expensive. So we have a couple of solutions. So this is something that we use with Sport Contract. We can get leagues from all over the world, different levels and so on. And I can look at players. We can do scouting of players for next season, whatever. So we can follow other leagues. And we also have some kind of, what's it called? A scouting part of this, that we can go in and different people have different possibilities to see different scouting on certain players and so on. So it's the GM sees everything, I see everything, someone else sees less and so on. So that we build inside that one. So I'm rushing through this a little bit, because now we're going to move over to Adam Albelin's company, or the company you work for.
Yeah, SportLogic. So I work for SportLogic for 3 years now, part-time. And in the other time, I'm the video coach for the women's national team. And so we'll just take you a run through of how Mickey uses sport logic in his daily work.
So what separates Sportlogic from the other platforms, not everyone, there's some others that's quite the same, but otherwise, like this one you saw before with Sport Contract, it's more these people, they're tagging, and you will have to wait 12 hours, and then you will have the game tagged, and so on. This is AI, so this goes really fast, which means that during a game, we can actually follow the game on Sportlogic. We will get all the data coming in. It's not live, but it's like in a couple of, maybe sometimes it's like, in the worst case, I think it's like 2 minutes after, but usually it's like 30, 40 seconds, and it's updating all the time. Which means that when we go into the locker room after the first period, we have the whole game tagged, and we have huge amounts of data. So then it's more about what do you want to see and what do you use it for. So if we take so this is how it looks like, and you can choose leagues and so on. Some of you have seen this, others not. Yeah. So this is how it looks. I have lots of different solutions, things to look at in here, depending on what I'm doing. In our workflow as in the coaches' room last year, we have the coaches are really good using this, so they don't need me that much. So it's not like me as a analytic guy taking things out for them to show someone else. They're actually working in it themselves, and that's fantastic. So if we can just ta en match bara.
Yep.
Uppe där bara. So we choose a game. So during a game, this is the part of this website that I'm in all the time. You can see a timeline, and you can see certain things that happen. You can see shots, you can see goals, you can see power play. If you take you play a clip, everything is clipped. So you can just click it and it's there. So. Or you can take a whole, like a power play, take a yellow one there. Yeah. So you watch the whole power play, and then you will have it here. So very easy, very good visualization, so I understand what's possible. You can also, when you're in here, do notes. So I can add a note down there. I can say something. I can write what player it is I want to, whatever. And so I can just put it on Jimmy Howard or whatever. Yeah. And then I can do that, and then I save it, and then it will stay on his player card. And I will show you how that looks further on. So, and of course, inside here, you can do easy drawings, text, sending stuff to people. We have the whole organization in the system, also the players. So if there's something a player wants to see, I can do it. I can do a drawing and send it immediately to him, and he will have it on his phone or whatever. Det går på roster. Eller just det, vi kan säga. Another part of this that I'm using during the game is that I'm following the scoring chances, the grade A scoring chances and stuff like that. And that's also clickable, so I can just click and I will have the 7 grade A chances coming up. If you go further down. Down here, of course, it's face-offs. You can get who's doing what, in what area, in what kind of offensive face-offs or whatever, what's the numbers and so on. It goes further down. So down here, it's like to visualize some of the basic things. So I want to see the slot shots in even strength, so I can see the number of it, but I can also click on it and see where it comes from. Is it from a rebound? Is it from whatever? So easy visualization just to get a fast look at it during the game. Because then you can dig much deeper than this. So this is more about having an easy way to follow the game during the game. I can also go up and choose game video. And this is something that I do. So I can design myself like boxes of stuff that I'm interested in. So, and that I want to follow during a game. So in this case, with goalies, okay, I want the goalie slot shots on both sides. And then you just choose that one. So now the box is there, it's already set, and I can choose to have a heat map, but often I want to have this. Yes. So here you have the slot shots on both sides. And maybe I want to see the slot shots on us, on my goalie, so we take away the HV goalie. And then you see the clips are out on the right side there. And then I can just run them and see them. And here they are. And if I want to send this, there's a goal. So if I want to see the reruns of this, maybe I will see the camera from behind, wherever, I can just change the time, because I know after a goal, there will definitely be a rerun. So I'm just adding some space, and here it will come. Okay, there, and I guess it will be from behind also. So this is an easy way, a fast way to just look at it again between periods or whatever, on the bench, whatever you want. You can send it, maybe I can send it to yeah. I go in here, I have a list. So, and I can choose to send it to Adam or someone, and then just send it away, and then he had a clip with my drawings, with everything. So it's really easy to, don't send that goal to him, but it was him in net also. Yeah. So this is what I use on every game. This is the part that I'm using. The platform in Sportlogic is it's a league agreement. So the whole league have the same thing, which means that I might have chosen Sportlogic anyway, but it depends on what you like and what platform you're into and used to. But we have been doing this now for like four years in the league, and the whole league have it. What? 5 years. Okay, and we 7. Yeah, no, but as a league agreement. Oh, it's long. Wow, time is running. Then we have done it for 8 years, because we were a test team. So we did it first. We had like a season, but it was hard because the data that was coming in was only when we played against teams. So when Skellefteå played Luleå, we didn't have the data. So when we look at the data, summing it up, like in the end of the season, it looked weird because we didn't have all the. So it was quite different now when every game is tagged. This is something that I don't know. I think you guys use it during broadcasts and stuff. Is it like that? Yeah, with a Viasat, whatever. And more and more I can hear commentators saying things that I think, okay, now they've been looking at this. Following the basic things that could be interesting in the game. Not saying, okay, the shots is 20-20, but the shots in the slot might be 15-4. That's more interesting. Let's say more than just the shots and so on. Another part of this that we use is that we have the roster. Here we have our team, or depending on which team I'm looking at, but now we're looking at our team. So here's our players. We can choose the goalies. So here we have some basic statistics coming in, and here I can use. So here I will go to Jesper's player card, and the internet connection is really crucial. So we have a fantastic in the SHL. They actually have a dedicated Wi-Fi in all arenas, even on the bench. So there's nothing else than this in that network, which means, and it's fast, so it's stable, because that's the big problem. If you don't have the good internet connection, then you can get lost or get stuck. Going into the player card, here you can see that you had lots of different choices up there, and you can, of course, you can filter down. You do want to see everything. Do you want to see last 3 games, just an even strength? Is there something? You have easy ways on the right side to make a choice there. This shows basically where the shots, how many saves in different areas in the net, and how many goals, and percentage-wise, what's the average in the league. Here you can see that his blocker side high, or glove side high, is quite a high number if you compare it to the average in the league. If I want to look at that, maybe I can go and see, I want to look at it, but I just want to see the last 5 games or whatever. Yeah. Okay, last 5 games that he played, it looks like this, and then you can just click it, and here you will have it. And so it's a filter. It's an easy filter to figure out where's the video that I want to work with. So this is for me, all of these things for me is for my job. It's not that I'm pushing a lot of statistics and numbers and stuff on the goalie. And that's very often that you hear that when you talk to people, like, yeah, okay, the statistics thing, but there's so much in their head, we can't just push. But it's not the goals. I hardly never ever used it for the goalie. Maybe like someone like David down there, because when he played for us, he was very, very into video and analyzing things. So we might have done a couple of runs in here, but otherwise, on most goalies, I never do it. So it's a little bit depending on the person, of course. So this is for me to be sure about the feeling I have. Is it the truth? I can confirm it a little bit with statistics. Say yes, he led a lot of goals high on his glove side. Okay, that's what I thought. But it can go the other way around also. That I look at something, and I see a number that looks really high, and I never thought about it really. So then the system is telling me to maybe this is something to look at. But then when I look at it, maybe I finally feel anyway that this isn't something. Because when the IE is tagging, it's without feelings. So if I bump into Adam here, it will be a tackle a hit in the system. And every time we bump into each other, and then it's 2 hits, and then we bump into each other again, just passing. Then we have a lot of hits there. So I can't just trust the numbers. Say, oh, wow, we have 11 hits this period. You have to click on it and see, okay, 4 of them wasn't really hits, so we have 9, and so on. So that's the way.
I have a question on about the glove. I live in this as well.
Yeah.
I use this every day. My one question that maybe I don't know how to do it, but like to say a percentage, let's say the high glove is a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you look at that and then you try to say, well, is it really a lot, right?
Yeah.
And to know the percentage of shots taken to the glove compared to the amount of goals, right? So maybe just everybody shooting glove side.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you filter to see, like I could see the shots, but how do I filter to just see the shots to the glove side? Is there a way to do that? Because I don't know how to do that, and a lot of times it's easy to look at that number and just say, oh, he's got a shitty glove. But
Yeah.
the reality is maybe that's only 3% of the goals shot to the glove side.
Yeah. Vad säger du, Adam?
Yeah, there should be a way to do it high, but I'm not sure if we can do it side. But I can look it up and talk to you after. That's
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
Yeah. Because many of the things, and if you stop for a while, but what we're doing now with the analytics guys at the university, that we're taking, and that's what many of the NHL teams are doing, of course, not using the actual platform. They take the raw data and they create something themselves, their thing with it. And then you need a lot of skills and education and science people almost, so to an academic high level people in like an analytics team in the club, and all NHL teams have it. Some will be one or 2 people, and others have up to 30 people in the team that's working just with analytics, taking care of the raw data. And they also have the same thing that we saw yesterday, where people were when the puck went over the stands and people were running to get the puck back because it's shipped. It's a ship in the puck, so they want it back. And then NHL have shipped pucks also, and it comes in so much data. So my first feeling was we also need ship pucks in SHL, until I understood that we will never have ship pucks in SHL, I think, because we will never have people to take care of all this data coming in. So that's a limit. There's a limit down. But the technique is there. It's more about money and costs and how you build your organization. And for us, it's still me as a video coach, very often 9 out of 10 teams, it's the goalie coach who is the video coach. So that's why it's like this. We can also go in the player card and see, and this is the part where I just add some notes on a player. So if I go in and say, okay, I have a couple of notes on him. Maybe it's a scouting purposes just to play against another team. Then I do my scouting and inside there a little bit, notes. And I can connect it to some text and I can look at the video so you can choose something, whatever. So here's something that I saw during a game, then I just make a note and then I have it on him. So when I go into his card, I will find my clip and do something with it. I also have the zone part here. And here's where I can choose goaltending. So here, this is maybe that part that is most useful for me as a goalie coach, because I will get percentage things. But it's not the percentage, it's not the usual save percentage. This is save percentage in different zones. So it's the whole slot, or it's just the inner slot. It will be, do I want every shot? Do I just want it in even strength? Do I just want a short-handed shot? And I will get a number. So so you see in the inner slot, if you mark it out. So there you have a number, and underneath that number, you have the average in the league. So it says something. If we're going to scout this goalie now, we can filter down some things that could be interesting, and we will have the video immediately, and we can start working, looking at it, having ideas, and so on. If the tar målen. So if we take the goals over the season on Jesper, he will look just like any other goalie on top level in the world, and så tar du show events. So you can see that all the goals that scored on him, it's pretty much from the slot. There's one here and there that you can question, was it a touch? Was it really, why was that going in? But the big amount of goals on every goalie, it's the slot. So then we had to do it. It's interesting to cut that down a little bit. So if we take away the short-handed goals and just have even strength. So it's uploading. So now it looks like this. This is even strength. And if we want to see, okay, now I want to see the inner slot shots, for example. Then I just click. Precis. And then I can click shot by shot, but om du går ner där nere bara och tar. Så där, ja. Och står inner slot. So here I can choose just the inner slot goals. I can choose, I just want to see the goals from the 5 last games. And now it's down to 3, and now I want to look at them. And then I just play all, and here you will have it. So it's easy to filter down. And that's the big key for me. I will have the numbers, I notice the numbers, but this is for me the best way to find the video. During a game, after game, in scouting, before a game. So I use this a lot. So, and you have some visualization stuff you can follow. You can see that he got different colors. It's because he's been in the league a couple of years. So you can see year by year what is it something that's sticking out, that's getting better or worse or whatever. Stuff like that. Om du hoppar ur den helt. Yeah. Another part of this that I'm use a lot, I don't think people are using it that much, but I'm using it a lot. That's this part. Here I can go down, especially in the part of the season when you're looking and maybe you will sign another goalie for next season or something. We have 2-3 guys, we're not really sure and so on. So I can put them in my roster and compare them with my other goalies. So we keep all of these 3 goalies, and let's say that I'm going to go to Luleå. They had a great goalie this season, Mattias Ward. That's our former junior goalie. So I'm interested in buying him. Let's say that. I'm not, but okay. And then you take the summary, and then you do the yes, and then we go to next and take base metrics. So here it's just lining up a couple of numbers. You can see numbers in the slot and what's the save percentage and so on. And I can add him in here. So I can start to compare things, see what's sticking out, what's the best in the slot shot percentage. If you click that one, so you will see, yeah. So now you can see, okay, yep, I have that number, Ward have this number. I can go in towards, and I can look at some stuff in the inner slot and see why is this number low or high or whatever. So I can, work everything like that. And it goes really fast. Okej, vi kan hoppa ut där. Så går vi gå på Teams. Eller jag tänkte att vi skulle gå på Statistics.
Ja.
Kan vi gå på. So, as you understand, there's a lot of... Visa listorna, den här början som vi inte har visat. Bara all data som finns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. So you understand, there's a huge amounts of data coming in here, and we're not looking at everything. The first thing that happened when we got this system, that me and the other coaches, we were looking pretty much on the same thing, go all over the place. We found things. Oh no, I forgot it's because I haven't take away the power play. Then okay, now the number looks more. We missed things. We were all crazy. Then we had to sit down, make a plan. Who's looking at what? The defense guy are doing this, and the forwards looking at that, and so head coach are doing this. So we divided it up a little bit, so it's easier to sit down around the table and say, okay, I've been seeing this, and then we look at it together. This, if you just scroll it slowly down, this is the kind of data that's coming in all the time during the game. So there's huge amounts of stuff. And depending what you're interested in, you can find it here, definitely. If you have the raw data, and we're experimenting with that now at the university, so we have SportLogic, the raw data. So now I can create, together with our GMs, together with goalie coaches and so on, okay, what's the thing that you're looking for? Yeah, I want to see, I will have like a tag with a number that I can look at in the video. Well, every time the puck go over the center line of the ice, before the shot, and so on, and get the numbers of how much is the save percentage then. Does it get lower on what goal in the league is it getting lower? If I'm looking at the teams here at the World Championships, I can see that if you look at Markström, he has fantastic numbers with seam passes and shots. And then there's others that have their really low numbers on that one. So, and then you can't just trust that, you have to dig into it. But it's like, okay, here's a red flag. Maybe it's something that we really could look into. And that's how the workflow is done all the time. A lot of data. You can show yeah. These are reports that we get before the game, before every game, we get reports like this. It's about the statistics in certain way, how the puck moved before the shot, and of course, where in the net. And this is also, it's colors, it's easy to just look at. Could it be something? Very often it's like, okay, not very interested. But sometimes it's like, wow, okay, I better look into this. So I will have the goalies we're going to play the next game. So I have this day before. And my own goalies all the time. And it's SportLogic that sends it out to us. On every team has it. So we can dig in and see, and we can have it in even strength, we can have it in whatever. So here you can see that it's the number with the low to high pass on his blocker side here. It's sticking out, and maybe also the high glove thing in the far corner. Maybe that's worth looking at and see if is this something, or is it just that it's low amounts of data, so it's just sticky. A goal here and there can change the numbers a lot. It takes a while during the season before this gets interesting. This season, the first part until Christmas, it wasn't that interesting because there was so few data spots in it. But at the end of the season, it starts to get really interested. And you can also go back, of course, looking at a certain goalie from on the last season's number and so on, so you can get a picture and see. But all the time, we never ever trust the number is right, but you need to look at the video to confirm that, okay, this is what I think, so I don't think it's right. And if it's there, it's there. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what we use. This is the tools. And what I think is interesting, that I think in very soon, the goalie, at least in Sweden, the goalie coaches will go back to be goalie coaches soon. One reason is that they're actually analytics guys and video guys coming, so it's instead of one guy, you have two people. But I think, and what I'm looking at now, I sat last night, I sit this morning, it's like, looking at the chat GPT, it is, but it's a hockey one, connected to all games in like Europe right now. So I can go in, I can watch the games from last night, I can even have it on live, and I can just ask questions. How many offensive zone entries with the shot successful? And then it's a brrr, so then it comes, oh, well, this happened, and that guy shot for, blah, 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 in text, and it goes like this. It's just amazing. And of course, coaches, GMs, and so, this is their dream, to just ask. If I know hockey, and I can ask a question, everything will come to like this. And then everybody will start to get more positive with statistics, I think, because there are a lot of people that's scared going in there because it looks, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm like that. So, and I think talking to the people that's doing this will be out in the market. There's no reason for not having it on the juniors, women's hockey. You can, if it's an under 16 game, you can have it on, and it's live. So you will have it like on the iPad on the bench, and you will have the clips. And everything I'm doing now, it will be on automated, so, which means that we don't need an analytics department. We don't need the university maybe. So I think this will be, what we're looking at here is for NHL and for us in SHL, we have this right now, but I think most people, most countries in Europe and so on will have the opportunity to have it very soon. And you can actually talk to its system and get that's pretty cool. Yeah. We like that.
More accessible, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's amazing. We sat at breakfast now, showed Adam, and we tried it, and it just, pow, it answers, and wow, this happened. Yeah, it's cool. So looking forward to that part of the future. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah. Again, I go back to Nick's presentation earlier. Like, be curious. It's good. Thank you very much. Yeah. Obviously, be curious, and we've got better tools now. Let's use them, right? And it looks like the advancements that have just been made in the past few years. It's much more. There's more opportunity to use that. The other thing too is with Dave Alexander's presentation yesterday, talking about action and perception coupling and the importance of the environment. And like, we have more information to help us understand our goaltender's environment more. And if we want to incorporate what Job talked about with dynamic practice design, like, these are the tools that are more accessible and easier to use, and it provides more information, and that gives us more context. So it's all starting to integrate and come together. It used to be so segmented, and now as the tools become easier to use and they're more in depth, the integration is starting to come together, and it makes our jobs easier, and it helps our goaltenders understand their environments better.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's your Excel sheet pretty much, but now it's even faster, and you don't have to sit there and
Which allows you to be more curious, right? And the more curious you are, the more you learn, and the more it helps your goaltenders, right? So
I think it saves time, but it actually adds time when you get more curious.
And that's how you get your next patent for your next business. Yeah. All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.